experts continue to opine on the ongoing budget debate in the Parliament, so far Jamaicans have heard from the Finance Minister and her opposition counterpart, Julian Robinson. But what exactly do the people want from the budget, and what do experts believe they can will get us there rather? Let's hear from my colleague, Nika Lewis.
It's not your typical assessment of how much you would rate a presentation or who will be most fiery for the $1.26 trillion budget now being debated in the Parliament. Economist and social commentator Sondre Roden explains, despite his 7.5 rating of the minister's presentation, there's more that Jamaicans are looking forward to in a budget presentation.
No new taxes is good, but after we've experienced years of no new taxes, the government now needs to say, okay, we're doing good fiscally, we're managing the money, but now how do we make money from the money that we're managing? Any investment bank would have to prove that, any bank would have to prove that. In the same way, every country has to ensure that the systems and the economy works in such a way that the country, not the company, but the country is better off. And we see how our country is growing, so that the government can now put all this income from the growth and these benefits back into the social services, so we then feel comfortable paying the taxes.
He accepts that the Prime Minister will likely have more on the so-called goodies and benefits to the Jamaican people as he seeks a political three-peat. However, much will weigh on the opposition leader, according to Roden.
A very important part to play in this debate. Some people wonder why I'd say very important. I say very important because the opposition leader now faces the electorate for the first time as a leader of a party, which means that this presentation will really have to show not just areas that he thinks the government should have done differently or there are shortfalls, etc., but this presentation from the opposition leader needs to define him as a leader in his own right. And I say it's very important for him, especially, and for the opposition party, because that is a matchup against somebody who has already established himself politically, which would be the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. And the Prime Minister would have done this for years. The Prime Minister would have had theatrics some years.
Brian Denning is the CARICOM tax leader and partner at PricewaterhouseCoopers, Jamaica. Aside from his usual commentary on the budget over the years targeting the business community, he shares suggestions for the budget under consideration.
They are, in many cases, yearning to come back to Jamaica. And we've seen, a positive impact in terms of lower crime rates as well. We still have a lot to do. There's still a lot to do. We're not going to we're not going to fool anybody. There's still lots to be done here in Jamaica. Well, we are making progress as a nation, and I think, given everything that's happening, that would be one initiative that I think, in conjunction with pioneer industry, would be say, well, let's bring people back home, because one of the challenges that as an employer that we have is actually finding skilled people in Jamaica. It's a challenge.
He's also suggesting artificial intelligence hubs and agriculture special zones.
In the same way as having looked at accelerating capital allowances on the asset, if you look at the categories of assets, it's building and plant and machinery and computers and all of that. Let's look also at the soft or the intangible side, the intellectual property expenditure and intellectual property research and development, those kind of things as well, because they are particularly important. And those can be done in conjunction with, maybe IT or AI hubs or incubators that we set up.